In the annals of Judah's history, few reigns began with as much promise as that of King Asa. He was a beacon of righteousness in a land often shrouded by the shadows of idolatry. We see a young, zealous king, his face set with holy purpose, leading his people in a great reformation. Under his command, the high places were torn down, the Asherah poles were cut to pieces, and the idols that had defiled the kingdom were ground to dust. The people of Judah renewed their covenant with the God of their fathers, and for a time, the land knew peace and prosperity. For the Lord was with Asa. This era of tranquility was shattered by the ambitions of a rival king. From the north, King Baasha of Israel marched his armies to the city of Ramah. By fortifying this strategic location, he effectively built a wall around Judah, cutting off Jerusalem and strangling the kingdom. The news reached King Asa in his court, and the once confident ruler was gripped by fear. The specter of war loomed, and the king who had once relied on God now saw only the strength of his enemy's army and the weakness of his own position. His faith wavered, and his heart turned not to heaven, but to earthly power. In a desperate and fateful decision, Asa commanded his servants to empty the treasuries of both the Lord's temple and the royal palace. This vast hoard of silver and gold, once dedicated to God, was now repurposed for a worldly scheme. Messengers were dispatched, carrying the treasure north to Damascus, to the court of King Ben-Hadad of Aram. The bribe worked. Lured by the wealth, Ben-Hadad broke his treaty with Israel and sent his armies to ravage its northern cities. Caught off guard, King Baasha was forced to abandon his project at Ramah and withdraw his forces, just as Asa had planned. Judah was saved, but the cost of this victory would be immense. Just as the king celebrated his shrewd political victory, a lone figure entered the royal court. It was Hanani the seer, a prophet of God, his face a mask of stern disapproval. He stood before the throne and delivered a message not of congratulations, but of divine rebuke. Because you have relied on the king of Aram and not on the Lord your God, Hanani's voice rang out. The army of the king of Aram has escaped from your hand. He reminded Asa of the time God had delivered him from a massive Cushite army, a victory won not by alliances, but by faith. Now, by trusting in a pagan king, Asa had forsaken his true protector. The truth of Hanani's words stung King Asa, but it did not humble him. Instead, it ignited a furious rage. How dare this prophet question his wisdom? Blinded by pride, the king roared for his guards. Hanani was seized, thrown into stocks, and cast into prison for his courage. From that day forward, the divine blessing was lifted. Asa's reign, once peaceful, was now plagued by constant warfare. In his later years, a severe disease afflicted